And we are live. It's your favorite insurance agent, Darnold Jr. And I have a very, very special Finlit Live for you. This is Finlit Live. This is the show where we talk about financial literacy, because growing up, I felt like my parents didn't talk about it. And so everything I learned about finances, I learned as an adult. Even college didn't teach me. So today, we're actually going to talk about the different levels of savings. And this is a first time in show history that I actually have my guest sitting here next to me, and I'll introduce him in a second. But with that, let's get it. All right, so today I have a very special guest with me. It's not Shaquille O'Neal, but his name is Shaquille. And so with that, since he's sitting right next to me, let me go ahead and bring him on. Hey Shaq, what's up?
Hey guys, how y'all doing? How you doing? Thanks for being here.
So today we're talking about the different levels of savings. And Shaquille is an expert. He works for Northwestern Mutual. And go ahead and, how about you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. Shaquille Mitchell, financial advisor, Northwestern Mutual. Originally from the Caribbean, you may or may not hear the accent. Moved over here about 6-7 years ago. Came up here for school and just sort of loved it here. Got stuck in Houston. And
born here. How long have you been with Northwestern Mutual now?
So about a year and a half now.
Year and a half?
Yeah, going on 2 years now. Enjoying it a lot. Being able to, as Darnell implicated, the importance of financial literacy amongst all communities and making sure that people are abreast to what is going on in and around their society. So
absolutely. So today we're talking specifically about the different levels of savings. You realize that there's different levels. So with that, I'm going to let Shaq take it over, and he has the spotlight.
Sure. So what I meant by different levels, right, is the level between sacrifice and, sacrifice and being able to adjust to what you're not accustomed to, which is the same as sacrifice, right? You want to be able to, achieve your goals financially through a very finite savings tool that will allow you and your family to reach any goals that you want, right? What I like to tell persons or people is we follow a rule called 60-20-20 rule. 60-20-20. 60%, 20%, 20%. 60% of your earned income monthly gross, so after tax dollars, 60% of your gross income goes towards expenses, that's such as your rent, your mortgage, so on and so forth. 20% into growth. Growth could be expenses, your outside 401ks, your life insurance, your stocks, mutual funds, bonds, and so on. And then the last 20%, you want to always be able to live life. We call it discretionary funds, or I like to call it fun money, where you can able to, again, enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? So you want to be able to save in a strict manner that you keep to regardless of the surrounded environments or the situations that you go through. And I just want to tell you guys, and Darnell also, saving is not a fun thing, especially when you're making a sufficient amount. You have a lot of distractions around you, a lot of temptations, and you may not, you may be in that sort of mindset of, I'm living in the moment, I may not have long to live, so I may as well spend the entire check. But that may not be the case, because in 10 to 15, 20 plus years, when you hit that retirement age and the government or Uncle Sam, hits you guys with that different level of taxes in retirement, you're sort of taken back and put in a zone that is not as comfortable as you thought retirement was supposed to be in. So what I'm here to talk about is, as I said, the 60-20-20 rule, but the importance of saving. So just to give a real life example, let's say someone is making approximately 2,000 a month on average after tax dollars. Um, you want to be able to take at least, let's say rent is $1,000. Um, Other outside expenses such as car, health insurance, other insurances. Let's say a cool 1400, right, of that 2,000. So what are you left with? Naturally $600. You may assume that this is nothing, and you have to spend all this on something that may be irrelevant. You still have savings within that small amount. Don't think that because you have a couple $100 left over after the main expenses and the kids and the family and so on, that you're lost and I have to spend the rest of this because I have to enjoy my life. Try to get out of that mentality a little bit and take a little bit of sacrifice, as I said in the beginning. Out of that 600, you want to take approximately $100, right? $150 a month, and you slowly accumulate that. And you do that math within 10 to 15 years, it becomes a tremendous difference. The point I'm trying to give you guys is don't fall into the what I like to call the social norms of money, in terms of I'm not making a sufficient amount to save the sufficient amount that I should. That is a facade. Get out of that mentality as soon as possible, right? And what I like to say also is how you know you are on the right track. We at our company like to say, for a married couple with kids, the ideal savings amount is that you are 6 months out, 6 months from where you're at right now in savings for all expenses. Let me reiterate that. Let's say rent is $1,000 and all the other expenses are added 200 to 300, 12, 1,300. You want to have 12 to 1,300 multiplied by 6. And that is how you can start to track and see yourself on the decent path towards saving, right? Again, please take your time. It's a slow start. Don't feel that you have to try to save, thousands of dollars initially. If $20 a month is within your budget, start there. Hey, if $10 a month is where your budget is, start there. I personally, when I was younger, I started at $5 a week, $20 a month, right? $5 a week, and you'd be surprised how much that has accumulated, how much that can put towards a new car, a new venture, a new passion, right? So slow down your mentality. Understand that you have the blessing to be here now, and let's pre-assume that we're going to be here for a while, right? And pass the message on to your family, right? Set the example for your kids, your husband, your wives, your aunts, your uncles, your grandmother, your grandfather. Set the example of getting in that habit of, regardless of whatever the circumstance or the income, you can achieve a high level of savings.
Excellent. Awesome. Yeah, savings is so important. So, just kind of recap, if I heard you correctly, you said there's the 60-20-20 rule, right?
Correct.
So 60 on your everyday living expenses, 20 on growth, so that includes your life, insurance, stock, mutual funds, investments, cryptocurrencies, 20 on discretionary income. So that's your fun money where you can go out and buy the Gucci purse if you want to, right?
Exactly.
Go on a family vacation
Yep.
and whatnot. So awesome. And so, awesome. So you get the example of $2,000 a month. If I had 2,000, spent $1,400 on expenses, use the 600 and then divide that up into the different funds, right?
Correct, right? So with that 600, let's say it's 600 that you have remaining over, ideally, now people want to say where to save. There's sort of that mattress concept where a lot of people are accustomed to. I say the mattress concept because that is where people take money in cash and keep it on them personally. They may not trust the banking system all the way or any other financial institution, rightfully so, right? But when your money is just sitting in one place, you lose it more than gain it, right? You want to have your money work for you just as much as you work for your money, right? If you don't have that factor going on, then you're sort of going to be stuck in a never-ending rotating a Ferris wheel of sorts, right? That you're never gonna get out of. You're gonna get stuck in there. You're gonna be more frustrated, more stressed. You know, that negativity is gonna pass on onto your other things and inhibit you from making more of that cash flow, right? Slow again, as I said prior, slow down. You are able to achieve your right saving goals. Split that 600 accordingly. If you have an outstanding bill, by all means, I understand you have to sort that out. And don't get swayed away if 1 month or even 2 months you get off track, right? You're unable to save the exact amount, that's fine. Still have the ability and most importantly, discipline to put something towards your savings. Trust me, it goes a long way. And one thing I want to say, savings doesn't have to start at a certain age. You don't have to say, I wish I started saving at a younger age. I wish. It's never too late. I don't care if you're 20 years old or you're 50, 60 years old and above. There's never too late to start. The amount you can accumulate in 5 years, just 5 years, people, can make a really tremendous difference. A lot of folks talk about achieving their passions, their goals, and so on. They more look for funding from banks, from family, from friends, from angel investors. And that's all well and good. I understand the concept of that. But it feels a little better to start your passion, or at least a portion of your passion, from yourself, right? One of my mentors always said, if you want to start one of your own passions, never truly use your own money, right? Which is, I'm sure you guys are pretty familiar with, right? But again, it feels a lot better. Everything is about feeling at the end of the day. It feels a lot better. You have a sense of accomplishment. I was able to save this amount in this amount of time, and I was able to achieve this. Talk about grinding from the ground up. There you go.
There you go. That's awesome. So it's just like anything, habits, right? Habits are so important. They say it takes 21 days to a couple months to form a good habit.
Correct.
So just get in a habit of putting a little bit aside. I love the concept of paying yourself first. And so a lot of times people take their income and they spend it. But if you're paying people, you might as well pay yourself first, right? And
Correct.
Savings is, especially if you don't have an emergency fund, that's the first thing to do is save up 6 months of emergency fund, like Shaq was sharing with us earlier. And so with that, like if somebody is struggling saving, like I know that's a big deal for a lot of people, what would you recommend? Obviously starting off little, but what if they're like, yeah, I save 1 month, but the next month I fall off the wagon? Like what is your suggestion for helping them to get back on that wagon and really understanding why they're doing what they're doing?
Right. So what I would say to that, and what I say to most of my clients, set a goal, right? Forget about the stressing or the pressure you put on yourself about saving a certain amount or any amount. set a goal. What am I trying to accomplish within the next 6 months first, the next year, up till 5 years? If that goal pertains to cash and cash flow, then you have to assimilate into some type of discipline, right? Again, it is all about what you want your end goal to be. If you know what I mean, if you just say, I want to open up a barber shop in 2 years, but you just keep working, keep cycling through your regular cash flow, and not saving, not anything towards growth, towards achieving that goal, you're going to be stuck in a strut, right? So what I say to somebody who's struggling, who may be good 1 month, not good another month, set a minimum that regardless of how bad that month was, you're able to achieve that minimum. Again, I said $5 a week. If you have to do $5 a month, be well so. Don't get sort of taken away of what others or the most of the so-called higher net worth people in society are doing. Be comfortable, be understandable of your situation, and go shoot from there. Again, $5, $1 to $2 a week, right? Think of it that way, right? And that's the best I can. It's
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I love the concept. I heard that a lot of times people claim they lack discipline, but I encourage people, it's not necessarily a lack of discipline, but it's a lack of vision. A lack of vision, because if your vision is strong enough, you'll do whatever it takes to accomplish that vision. But if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a destination of where you're going, of course it's going to be a grind. Of course it's going to be a struggle. But if you have a vision that's strong enough, then you're going to ask yourself to do whatever it takes to accomplish that. So that's awesome. So you do a lot of great services and provide a lot of great products. How can people get a hold of you if they would like to reach out to you? If they're like, Shaq, that sounds all fine and dandy, but I need a little bit of accountability. Like, I need somebody to help hold my hand to the fire so I can actually do this. How can they get a hold of you?
Sure. So I am very personable. I like being one-on-one. Emails are fine, but the best way to contact me is through cell phone. My phone number is 281-236-3798. My email also is Shaquille, SHAQUILLE .Mitchell, MITCHELL at N as in Nancy, M as in Matt.com. Again, my preferable method is through phone call or text message.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you, brother. You dropped a lot of golden gems.
Yes.
Savings is a good foundation for all the other investments and things that you can do in the future, and really just setting your house on your financial house on a firm foundation. And that's where it starts with savings. So thank you for being on the show and taking your time.
My pleasure.
We are here at a networking event, and it just happened we were at the same network event. We didn't even know until we showed up. It was like, oh, you're here. Okay, we can do this show live together. So that's how we end up in the same seat.
So first of many, I'm sure, hopefully.
That's right.
And with the great, beautiful background, you can't beat that.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you having me here. Guys, Darnell is one of the top in his industry. You guys know exactly what he does. For him having this platform is very innovative, it's very motivational, and I hope you guys receive something from me and continuously receive information from Darnell that I'm sure you can apply into your daily lifestyle.
Absolutely. Yeah, the more that I learn, the more I learn that I don't know. The more I don't know.
Exactly.
So, well, thank you, Shaq. Well, if you got any value out of today's show, go ahead and like and subscribe. FinLitLive.com is the website. If you go on YouTube, type in FinLit Live. And if you found any value and feel like this could be valuable for your friends and family, go ahead and share this information with your friends and family, because that's what it's about. It's about education. Because the more literate we could get, the more control we have of our financial situation, of our financial house. And this is a very important topic of savings. It sets the foundation for our financial house. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And we're going to be live again next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I look forward to talking to you then.